Okay, once again, good morning and welcome to 1 Million Cups KC. I'm glad to see some new faces in here. Who is here for the first time? Will you please raise your hand? Oh, wow. Okay, thank you for coming. 1 Million Cups is an entrepreneurial program that is educational, and we have two presenters that present weekly. They present for 6 minutes, and then we open it up to our panel and then audience for Q&A. So if you guys have a question anytime, please raise your hand, and we will come around with mics. I would first like to introduce our panel today, so they're going to tell you who they are and why they're here.
All right. My name is Ilya Tabak. I have an agency in town called Somametric. We help people plan, measure, and improve experiences in the physical space. My expertise is really kind of the interface between human factor psychology and physiological computing. So for kind of the web folks in the room, that's really kind of like UX meets the physical space. And then I'm also working on an interesting new product with data and sports. Hopefully hear more about that soon.
Entrepreneurship is hard, and sometimes it feels like we may need superpowers to be successful. My name is Lawrence Andre. I don't know a lot about superpowers, but as Kansas City's personal leadership trainer, I think a lot about team dynamics and leadership muscles, and I'll be listening to our presenters this morning to see how those factors play out in their success.
Hi, my name's Rob Heineman. I'm the CEO of Sporting Club, which owns Sporting Kansas City and Sporting Innovations, and we've got about 30 people here today from another one of our companies called Live KC, which is trying to make Kansas City a better place to live and have fun. So I look forward to hearing the presentations today and excited to be here, my first time at 1 Million Cups.
Thank you to our panel. My name is Courtney, and I'm one of your community organizers along with Brian and Lance, and unfortunately Milton is not here today. But we would like to bring up our first presenter. It's Matt from Panda Boxes, and he's gonna show us how, like, a different way of moving.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Matt, and I'd like for you all this morning to put yourselves in the shoes of someone who's about to move. We've all been here, but you've got your new place picked out, your date's been set, and the excitement's starting to set in until the panic strikes. You need help. You need a plan, and you need organization. So you set out with a desperate attempt to lure your friends over to help with your move with the promise of beer and pizza. Don't act like you've never done it before. You might have even said, hey, we're having a moving party. Well, those feelings turn into guilt because you've been on the other side of the table before, or you've been manipulated with beer and pizza to come help with someone's move. Heck, beer and pizza is how I manipulated my wife to marry me, so I know it's got some power. Well, those feelings of guilt turn into memories. Memories of carrying box after box of that horrible cardboard. You know which ones. They don't stack very well. There's no handles. They're all different sizes. They get crushed, they get wet. The list goes on. There's got to be something better. In Peter Thiel's book, 0 to 1, he gives this rule of thumb about innovative startups. Proprietary technology must be at least 10 times better than its closest substitute in some important dimension to lead to a real monopolistic advantage. The easiest way to have a 10 times better product is create something completely new. And that's what Panda Boxes does. We kick cardboard's butt, and this is how we do it. We rent out amazing, dry, handled, sturdy boxes for your move. They won't end up in a landfill after one use. They're virtually crush-proof. They come with a 4-wheel custom dolly, and the best part is, we deliver them to you on your schedule. So no more going to Home Depot for moving supplies. No more begging the produce manager at the grocery store for those roach-infested boxes from the back. No more trying to figure out where we're located. It's just you doing work. Panda Boxes is consisted of 3 pieces: myself, my partner Sean, and Beta Blocks. Both Sean and I are full-time firemen in Kansas City. Being career firemen allows us to have a steady income to support our families. Thus, making any decisions we make about Panda Boxes strictly about the business and its growth, and not worrying about bringing profits home. My partner Sean also owns a moving company in Kansas City. It's given us a great wealth of knowledge into the moving industry and our potential customers. The third piece is Beta Blocks, our startup incubator. They've been great. And now that we're growing like weeds, they represent our fully aligned, mutually invested board of advisors. They've been great. And honestly, without them, we might not even be in business right now. So here's a graph of our revenue over time. I can assure you, ladies and gentlemen, we're not millionaires yet. But at the rate we're growing, there's going to be a couple open spots in the firehouse pretty soon. My partner Sean's moving company is actually a Shark Tank alumni business. You might have heard of them before, and you might have even used them. It's College Hunks Hauling Junk and College Hunks Moving, AKA our perfect partner. We're in the process of closing our first 4 franchise agreements so that others can have their turnkey Panda Box companies in their cities to complement their moving companies. We'll be responsible for central bookings and running proven pay-per-click campaigns that they don't have to touch once. All they'll be responsible for is dropping off the boxes and picking up the checks. So how can you all help us out today? Well, it's a pretty big ask, but I'm going to ask it. We're actually looking for another co-founder of sorts. You see, essentially, we have 2 growing businesses, and we're full-time firemen. We're spread pretty thin. So we're looking for someone who sees the potential in our business and our team and would like to join. We're not looking for an investment in cash. We're looking for an investment in time, energy, work ethic, and fun. A fair warning, we're looking for someone that can fulfill all roles of our business. We're looking for someone that can do the stereotypical things like running digital marketing campaigns, to meeting with our board of advisors to discuss ideas, to going to realtor presentations and networking events. But we're also looking for someone who's not afraid to get dirty with cleaning boxes and delivering to customers. So if you're interested, email me at the information listed on the slide, and let's go out for a beer or coffee and discuss this opportunity. So I'd like to thank you all for your time today. I would like to thank the Kauffman Foundation and its organizers for this awesome program. And I'd like to say that I've always been proud to be from Kansas City. Born and raised, and this year's been amazing. The Royals went to the World Series, and now we're at 1 million cups. It couldn't get much better. Go Royals. So I'd like to say thank you once again for everything, and I'm Matt Zabelski.
Thanks, Matt.
Thanks a lot for that presentation. It's a cool idea, a really cool idea. Would have been better if you would have actually brought beer and pizza today, but it's still a good idea. Can you talk about the business model a little bit? You know, how many times what the pricing model vis-a-vis, you know, how many times you have to have the boxes out? First, kind of just give us a little bit of an overview of the model.
Well, so the boxes are good for what we've been told, 300 to 400 uses. So once we buy the boxes once, we have them for a long time. Right now we're working on, this is our first season of moving, so we're figuring out if we are more along the lines of seasonal like the moving industry is, or if we go all year round. Right now we've been steady all year round, and we're doing a lot of marketing through online and pay-per-click campaigns, and so the cost of acquisition per customer is really cheap for us. And otherwise, apart from advertising, we really don't have a whole lot of overhead.
It takes a second to turn on. So are you going to build a brand, or are you going to be an enabling service sort of underneath a moving company's brand? I mean, what's your thought process around that?
So we're still trying to figure out the best avenue for us. There's lots of them out there. So we've thought about having a dealership to where we sell boxes to other Panda Box companies, or we partner with moving companies, and we want to build a brand. So we want to make it to where we can eventually be nationwide, and no matter if you're moving from Kansas City to Ohio, no problem, we can deliver boxes and we'll pick them up in Ohio. That's our main goal.
So I heard you talk about getting ready to close your first four franchise agreements, and it seems to me that takes your business to another level of activity. Not only are you providing boxes to people who are moving, but now you're serving potential franchisees. I also heard you talk about looking for a co-founder. That was your ask. I'm curious what preparations you've done for the business to take it to that second level of complexity and to set it up for success for another person to enter into the business to help you grow to that next level.
Well, we actually have my partner Sean that has the College Hunks Moving franchise. It's been awesome because we can connect with other franchisees from his business all around the nation, and then figure out, already business-minded people that would like another business and franchise to help with what they're already doing. So he's been amazing with that aspect, and the support we've gotten from Beta Blocks has really helped us, so we can really dial into what we need to do to take it to that next level of opening franchises.
So if I hear you correctly, you have two people in two different businesses kind of collaborating together, and there's expertise in each side of that business that is helping each other. But I wonder at what point does that relationship need to get more formalized so you can have official roles to help grow both businesses together?
Well, we really haven't gotten, that's definitely on the table. So we're just kind of working to see where we're going as far as locations, and then, once we have a handshake, kind of, then we will start really focusing in on the fine details.
So you talked about price per customer acquisition. Do you know what that number is?
We're trying to figure out. Well, it was a lot cheaper in the summertime because everybody was moving, and so we were getting a lot of help just from social media that people were tagging. So our cost per acquisition was less than $2 a customer in the prime moving season.
Is that with ads and time, or just kind of the ad part?
Just the ad part.
And do you have a feeling for like how that scales as you get bigger? So it sounds like you have kind of the renting boxes part of the business, then the moving part of the business, and then they kind of combine, and then also the franchising part. So I'm kind of focusing on the renting boxes part. How many conversions do you have how many customers have you acquired kind of on the digital side, and how do you see that growing over time?
I don't have a number on how many, but I know that's been the largest part of our customer acquisition. And I see it just growing exponentially, hopefully. There's amazing tools now that we can go out and really focus in and with laser accuracy and really get to our customers. So we're really excited about that.
You're starting to use those tools?
We are.
I guess one more question, sorry for hogging that. Is the behavior of the customer that wants to rent a box different from the behavior that wants to get a mover? Like, talk to a little bit about kind of the customer, maybe whether the box people, moving people, what that looks like. Talk to me about your customer.
Well, the customer is anyone who wants to save money, wants to have a green aspect to their move, and just convenience. As far as our boxes working with other moving companies, well, the actual guys that load the trucks, they absolutely love them because they're all uniform in size, they stack up well, and the dolly we have with our boxes, it rolls right up a moving ramp. So the movers love them. The moving companies don't like them because they don't sell cardboard boxes. And that's where a lot of the profits from the moving companies is resale of their cardboard.
So did you actually design this box? It's a proprietary box, or is it a box that I can buy off the internet?
I did not. They've actually been used in corporate moving companies have used these for years, but nobody has moved into the residential side just because the movers in U-Haul and other franchises that sell cardboard hate them because their markup is phenomenal.
Okay, so from a barrier to entry perspective, like I could go on today, buy 1,000 boxes and sort of compete.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
We would like to open it up to the audience for questions.
Quick question. So price comparison, a box costs what, $1 on average for a cardboard box versus, I don't know what it costs to rent your boxes, but just talk a little bit about that perhaps.
Depending on where you buy your boxes at. I know like the larger stores like Home Depot and things of that nature, we're about 30% cheaper than buying them from locally in town from a moving company for 2-week rentals. Our pricing model is $1 a week a box. So as long as you need them, it's a really easy pricing model. So you, after 3 weeks is about the same as cardboard. So it's just depending on how fast you need them.
We've got a question here in the back.
Hey Matt, I'm like your biggest fan. I used Panda Boxes in my last move and it was awesome and it really solved a simple problem really well. The question that I have for you is when you first gave me the boxes, I think it cost like $80 for all the materials. When they're still sitting in my garage today, 2 months later, and you're only charging me $1 a week a box. Do you have any strategies to turn over that inventory more quickly since it's really the only inventory involved in your business and make more money?
Well, I guess it doesn't really matter because the boxes are out. So no matter if it's not a different pricing model if your first 2 weeks is more expensive than your third week and so on. So if the boxes are out, if people are using them for storage or to keep their summer wardrobes in the wintertime, it's all the same to us.
Got a question to your left, Matt, right over here.
Have you looked at using something like RFID tags on the boxes? Because a lot of times when you're moving, you misplace a box, it gets left someplace, and with something like an RFID, an active RFID, you could locate where the boxes were and figure out where to look for a given item potentially within the boxes. And I know that's somewhat of an offshoot. And the other thing to look at is the potential for including hand truck sort of things. In the college moves and all of that, you could rent a bunch of those because everybody's trying to move in at the same time and nobody has the things to move the boxes with.
Sure. Actually, we're starting to look into a better tracking system. Right now, we just have a spreadsheet, and we take a count every time, and we have a work order where the customer signs off that they get X number, and then we pick up X number and a signature as well. As far as the hand trucks, we do have some that we can rent out, and the college moves are a great avenue, we think, and eventually we want to go there. Eventually, we'd like to offer a dorm room package to where you get 20 boxes and you pack them up, and then we store them until the school year starts again. So that's definitely something that's on our minds.
Question here on your right. Over here.
Hi there. So it looks like your profits have a direct correlation to the number of boxes that you have. I'm wondering about whether or not your boxes collapse down, or if while you're inventorying your boxes, they're in the state that we see over here on the side.
No, actually, let me bring them up here. So they stack and nest in each other. So all the boxes come with the four-wheel dolly that rolls right up your ramp or around your house. And then when we deliver them or when you're done with them, then they just stack and nest in each other. So the lid on the next one pops open. And then this one slides down in here. So they just go like that, and we usually stack them up, and so it takes up a lot less space.
Cool. Got a question here in the middle.
Hey, have you tried to penetrate the trade show marketplace, the large trade show marketplaces at all? And if so, what have you done to reach that group?
We've thought about it, and we've looked into it. When I believe it was the home show or the remodeling show was in January, we looked into it, but at the time, we didn't see that the cost would benefit us as much as doing more targeted advertising. But we definitely would like to get into the trade shows.
Question here, right center.
Thank you, Matt, for your presentation. I loved how you drew us in at the beginning with the experience of moving. I also really liked the quote at the beginning. And I was curious about how you would describe those dimensions that you would say you have a competitive advantage over. Is it coordination? Is it logistics? Like what is it that makes you, what's going to give you the advantage in the marketplace and kind of protect yourself by the now or the future?
Sure. The advantage that we have now is convenience, pure and simple convenience. Everyone now is on their smartphone and digitally connected. So you could essentially get on your smartphone and order 50 boxes to deliver to your house within 24 hours, and you don't lift a finger. We also have packing paper and wardrobe boxes that you can rent as well. So pretty much anything you need to move, it can be delivered to your house.
Matt, I got a question right front row.
So you mentioned avoiding the roach-infested boxes from the grocery store. So I'm wondering how you sterilize your boxes once they're returned, and then also what is your policy if somebody damages one? How do you recoup that cost from the customer?
Right now, we vacuum each box out, and then we use a sanitizing spray. So it's very time-consuming, but you know, in a startup company, that's what you do. A lot of long nights cleaning boxes. So as far as recouping any boxes, the customer signs a waiver that says, you know, any boxes that are broken or lost or damaged, severely damaged, you're going to be charged for. So we keep a payment method on file in case anything like that happens.
Question right center.
I'm not sure if you answered this, but what really prompted you to choose the name Panda Boxes?
Well, we wanted to come up, we were actually named something different, and we had a little fight with another company. So we had black boxes. So we said, well, let's come up with something new. So we brainstormed, we had all sorts of animals, and we had thought rhino boxes, oh, they're nice and strong and tough. And then we said, what about panda boxes? Well, panda boxes are cool, pandas are cute. And we just wanted something that would, you know, moving sucks. So we just wanted something when people see the website, oh, you know, makes you smile, makes you think moving won't be as bad as it's probably going to be.
We've got a question here in the back.
Hey, Matt, thanks for your presentation, and thanks for being a first responder, too, and keeping us safe in your job as a firefighter. Appreciate that. Maybe a couple suggestions. I think in your presentation, I think definitely in the future, bring those boxes out earlier. Those are cool. I think that should be something that we all see. So having been someone who just built a house and had to move twice, a family, 2 kids, 2 dogs, into an apartment for 5 months and then into the new house, I would have loved to have used these boxes in the move. And I also think that you can definitely charge more. This seems like way too underpriced. And maybe even like escalate the price for the people that procrastinate getting unpacked. So each week you keep them, you know, maybe the price gets up so you have incentive to get them out of there. But I think it's a great idea. I definitely think you can charge more for it.
Another question in the center.
Talk real briefly about the franchise piece of the business. Like you said, you've got 4, so where are they? Are you doing it like for certain geographic territories?
Well, so right now we're in the early stages. We kind of have some regions picked out, and they all have moving companies, and they just want to have this. They love the idea. They really like it, and they have the customer base to support having another business. So we really just want to focus with them and.
Got a question here in the front.
Oh yeah, I lost it.
Hi. Well, based on the presentation, I saw that on the revenue chart that you had, in the beginning it was low, and then it started rising. What advertisement did you use in the beginning, and what is your current advertisement right now?
In the beginning, we went with a lot of Google pay-per-click, and it was an awesome way to get us on the first page, #1. But we were a new concept to Kansas City, so we had to really focus in and really inform people first. And so once we figured out a way to inform people and get the word out, then that correlated to our revenues rising. So we really focus on informing first.
I've got a question here in the back, Matt. It's kind of tied in line to your revenue potential as well as your boxes. You're going to be limited to revenue based on how many boxes you have. What is your current capacity, and how do you plan on scaling that when people like Melissa or other movers are hanging onto those boxes for months and months and months?
Right now we have 2,500 boxes, and we have a warehouse space that we could keep up to 10,000. So we have the room, so it's just going to depend on the demand. If next season we need 2,000 more boxes, then we'll go buy them. So we're ready to expand and grow.
Another question here in the second row.
Yes, hi. I want to know how you use your social media to stretch? Oh, how is that going to use social media to help out the business?
Social media's been great. We're actually using some advertising through social media, and also it allows people to see us on social media and say, oh, well, I know John's moving. So they will tag John or share the status in John's news feed or whatever it may be. So it actually lets people that have used us before or see the idea just kind of be our own evangelists and spread the word for us.
Another question in the second row.
Hi, you were talking about how you use the Panda to appeal to your audience when you were picking out your brand name. Do you use any other like methods to appeal to your audience, like videos of your product or anything else?
We do have a couple of videos now. We'd like to do some more videos, maybe like commercial type videos. We really want to get videos that are short and sweet and show what the product is. We're still relatively new, so a lot of people don't understand the concept of renting boxes. So we really want to make some short informational videos.
Another question here in the center.
You said you had 2,500 boxes. On a given day, on average, how many are out and how many are in the warehouse?
Right now, during the moving season is slower. Traditionally, it's April through September, and a lot of people base it on kids being in school, out of school, nice weather. So during prime moving season, the April through September, we usually have anywhere between 12 and 1,800 boxes out.
Okay, I've got a question here to your left.
Hi, do you have some type of an estimating tool to help people try to figure out how many boxes they need for each move?
Right now on our website, we have packages 1 through 5 bedrooms, and that's come basically through my partner's moving company, and he's kind of taking these to the moves and say, well, you need approximately this many for 4 bedrooms. So we've got it pretty dialed in from 1 to 5 bedrooms. If you need more, if you have a larger house or a hoarder, we can come out and help you there as well.
Got a question here to your left.
Who is your target customer? Your your name makes the company sound like it's supposed to target the younger generation who probably has a lot less stuff. So because they have a lot less stuff, they're going to need a fewer amount of boxes than someone who's older because they have less stuff. Meaning that you're going to need a lot more volume to a lot more number of customers to make a good amount of money. Do you know how you're going to scale your business other than franchising and other than franchising? How are you going to do the franchising process, I guess?
The franchise is something we're still in the works of as far as lining out all the fine details. Basically, with the franchise, we really want to give them, the advertising. So really, they only have to worry about logistics. As far as the amount of boxes, we've got it dialed in pretty close. Sometimes you'll have a customer that only needs 20 boxes, but they get 25. But I'd rather have too many boxes out for them than not enough, and then have to pay a separate fuel charge to have a few more boxes brought out.
Okay, we're going to do the last question. First, I want to compliment you on the choice of shirts today.
It's a nice shirt.
Keep dressing weird. I wore a farmer outfit on the Farm Mobile Day. Last question. What can we as a community do for Panda boxes?
Really just spread the word for us. Like I said, we're relatively new. The concept is super new. If you tell people you rent boxes, they don't quite get it. But we really feel like we have a great concept and a great company that saves you time, saves you money. It's super convenient. So just anyone that's moving or need us, just spread the word for us.
Great. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hey, we have with us today a couple classes from Wyandotte High School, And can you guys raise your hands, the communications class? Thank you for joining us, and thank you for asking some questions. I hope you found that educational. We also have the marketing class from Wyandotte High School. Where are you guys at? Excellent, welcome. Great to have you here. The, is it both classes or the marketing? Entrepreneurship? Okay. The entrepreneurship class, raise your hand again for me. Are you guys are doing the survey? Okay, I'll get it right one day. Let's roll back the tape and we'll do this again. The marketing class is going to be looking for us, if we have a few minutes after 1 Million Cups, to help them. They're doing a survey for their class. They're going to be located outside the town hall area, and if you have a few minutes, they're going to have some orange sheets, and if you have a few seconds, please feel free to, there we go. They'd like our help in doing their assignment. No trigonometry, right? Promise? Okay. All right. So if we could help them out, that'd be great. We do want to try to be an educational experience. We've got, if you grabbed an announcement sheet, we've got a bunch of events happening, and on your chair is the information about the Global Entrepreneurship Week. We are limited, the only limit to the Global Entrepreneurship Week is Earth. So I'm glad they made it global. Hopefully we'll get somebody on the space station doing something soon. If you didn't grab one of our announcement sheets, we do have them in the back by the coffee near the exit. Bringing up our next presenter, Red Dirt Shop is here, and Christina and Dawn are going to show us what they're up to, and let's give them a nice welcome.
Thanks so much, Brian. Thank you. Hi, I'm Christina Eldridge. And I'm Dawn Taylor. And we're the co-founders of Red Dirt Shop. Was anybody here about a year ago when, a couple, good, when we presented? Awesome. So we're excited to be back for this update, but I sort of feel like with Rob here, it's a little more Shark Tanky than it was last year. It was like a kinder, gentler crowd. Just kidding. We're a little more nervous. So for the rest of you that weren't here, I want to give you a little background on where Red Dirt Shop came from and what we're about. Dawn and I both have a history in working in nonprofits, mostly for fundraising. Dawn in the arts, myself in healthcare. And we also did a lot of volunteer work, and we share that in common too. In fact, we met serving on a board. We also share the common passion of volunteering in Africa. I've led several medical missions to Mali, West Africa. Dawn volunteers in an orphanage in East Africa and Uganda. In fact, she's going back again next month. And so, of course, we have the ubiquitous pictures of us with kids smiling and happy. But what we also saw was this very stark reality. Nearly 1 in 7 people on our planet does not have access to clean, safe water. The average walk to water is 6 kilometers round trip, mostly done by women and girls, usually twice a day. So in January of 2012, Dawn and I had both come back within weeks of each other from separate trips, and we were talking about this. And we thought, you know, we really want to do something to work on this world challenge. What should we do? Should we start another nonprofit? The last thing this world needs is another nonprofit. So, especially because Water.org is right here in Kansas City, co-founded by Kansas Cityan Gary White and the actor Matt Damon. And they're amongst the world leaders in water and sanitation. So they have the solutions already. What do they need? They need money. And we can tell you, working a nonprofit, being a nonprofit is not the best way to get money, right? So what is the best way? The American way, which is commerce and capitalism, because that is what is scalable. So we decided to start a company. We decided on fashion and accessories that would have a direct link to supporting water. And how we do that is, for every product we sell, we fund 1 year of clean water access for someone in need through our partnership with Water.org. So this was us a year ago, matching t-shirts. We've kind of gotten over that. A few more gray hairs this time, fewer that time. Yeah, less sleep, I can guarantee you. But this is what we looked like a year ago, September. We launched our company in April 2013 as an online company, and our product line, our first product line, was phone cases for the iPhone and the Samsung Galaxy 3. You'll see pictures up there, a lot of variety, a lot of color, a lot of great design work. We had about 30 or so. Someone can count those for me. We ended up having about 60, we currently have about 60 different iPhone case designs. And we decided early on that part of our business model that was really important to us was not only the social impact piece, the support for clean water, but also involvement of artists. Probably many of you are aware, should be aware, that Kansas City's artist community is super vibrant and vital, and we happen to know a lot of artists ourselves, personal friends, both here in Kansas City and really around the country. And so we thought that having artists design our products would be a great way to make them distinctive in the marketplace. You know, when we start with phone cases, you know, you can buy them online, you can buy them in the kiosk at the mall, you can buy them at the Apple Store or whatever. But this was one of the ways we thought we could get our product out there and in people's minds as something that's distinctive, but also artist designs could let you express your personality. Maybe particularly for the high school students in the room, you want something that's cool that all your friends don't have, right? So that was our approach with the artist designs on our phone cases. Now, fast forward to fall 2014, and we have changed our model in terms of our product releases. All those phone cases you saw, the reason we ended up with so many is that we were releasing a new design every Monday. That was another big effort for us to get awareness and a lot of buzz going, that, you know, every Monday we were trying to train our audiences and our followers to look for that announcement on our website and on all of our social media. So we did that. It was a great way to launch and get some awareness. But now, since we are expanding our products, which you'll see in just a second, we've changed up to more the seasonal shopping or seasonal product release mode. That's more familiar for most people. You know, you have your spring collection, your summer collection. We're starting with fall, winter 2014. And there's some whole lot of Red Dirt new products in there in just that one photo. So the artist designs that we started out with in the phone cases, we've now expanded to include t-shirts and a stainless steel water bottle. So there's just a little bit of the variety here. And the other thing we changed up was, instead of having one product by one artist only, we've actually assembled collections within our larger seasonal collection. So you'll see here this trio of kind of the black and white designs. That's one artist named Alex Cherry. He's from Los Angeles. This is an artist from Portland, Oregon, Jessica Swift. This is a local designer, Biclops Design. And then Ocean and Sea, some of you may know some of those nice folks. It's a husband and wife team. Their last name is O'Shaughnessy, so Ocean and Sea, very clever. So we actually, we pretty much dig what they do and wanted to have some additional products from them. So this is kind of just another way that we're shifting and growing our brand and growing our artist involvement. But what we're really also super excited about is almost another layer, if you will, of the social impact that Christina described with the support for clean water. So we are moving into and adding product lines that are made overseas. The leather items you see here, messenger bag, clutch purse, and wallet, are made in Nairobi, Kenya. And then the woven items you see on the screen, and then my pretty green scarf, are made in Guatemala with a workshop there. And Christina will tell you a tiny bit more about them in a minute. But this is an area that we are very excited about, is to partner up with some of these workshops that are really doing great things, supporting the individual worker, getting that direct contact with those folks. And they're making these beautiful items. These bags are just drop dead. They're gorgeous inside. They've got great features, and these are people who have these skills already and will do some custom work at our specifications. They're using materials that are local to their communities, so it's a very sustainable business model for them. So we feel really good about working with those two workshops. So it's not only our goal to turn a profit. Don and I are both moms. We both have 2 kids, so it's all good and well to be nice, but we also need to make money. So we're making money, but what we also want to report back on is our social impact. So primarily, our first focus having been water. As I said, every product we sell, we fund a year of clean water access with water.org, and that's their formula, not ours. You can multiply that formula to buy someone clean water for life. So we went live online April of 2013. So in the last year and a half, we've funded Clean Water for Life for over 250 people. So we're pretty excited about that. You see our phone case here in Haiti, and we support other products in Ethiopia, Uganda, India, Bangladesh. So as Don mentioned, this is our next line of social impact. We're big believers in hand-ups, not handouts. The people that we've worked with in developing communities, they're all ingenious, they're all hardworking. They all want the dignity of having a job and taking care of their families, just like any of us do. So we're super excited about this and really hoping to expand to more countries next year.
And the other big difference between a year ago and today is that we have come out from behind the laptops, and we are no longer just an online business. At least for the holiday season, we have a bricks and mortar shop on the Country Club Plaza. Couldn't ask for a better location. This was an opportunity that came to us this summer, and we quickly jumped on it, working with the Plaza to be one of their featured local retailers, locally owned companies for the holiday season. So we opened October 21st, first day of the World Series, as it turned out, which we thought was a great simpatico kind of thing there. So you'll see all of our products there. The tables here, you've got the leather wallets, the purses, the water bottles, kind of the whole array. The t-shirts are kind of hanging. You can see them reflected in the mirror there. And we've been so thrilled to be, again, out from behind the computer screen and meet so many of these customers that we recognize their names on the orders as they come in, but to see them, come into our store and introduce themselves, or have someone come in and say, "Oh, my mom has this phone case and she loves it," that has just been really gratifying to us. And we also take really seriously that we feel like we're representing Kansas City. If you're on the Plaza, you are going to see people from all over the world. We've had customers come in from Australia and all over, and that's been something that we can do to represent Kansas City. So for the future, we've kind of described quickly that, to sum up, we're going to be expanding with a second round of angel investment in the next in the very near future, growing our product lines and growing our exposure to probably include a wholesale approach business channel as well. So we are happy to take questions.
Great, thank you so much. Let's start with our panel.
Thank you.
A business like this, there's so much passion built into it. It just attracts people who care about the cause. I can see that passion sometimes creates blind spots. You can get so focused on the passion that you forget about the business side of it. So I'm curious how the two of you, plus whoever's helping you build this business, how you're moving beyond just the passion, looking at the purpose of the business, and building a team to grow this business to where you want it to be.
Great question. Let me ask you a question. Do you have any teenagers?
Not yet.
I have a 16-year-old boy. Do you have any idea how much they eat?
Oh. My mother used to tell me I would eat her out of the house because of how much I ate when I was a teenager.
Precisely. And my son's a wrestler, and he's 6'3". He eats a lot. So as I mentioned briefly, Dot and I are both single mothers. We both have, we each have 2 children that we're responsible for. She's got 1 in college, 1 on the way. I've got 2.
To college, not this one. Did I mention the sleeveless?
The surprise! No.
Big reveal!
So I think one of the things that I think, having now been in the entrepreneurial world in the deep end for 2 to 3 years, a lot of you here can probably agree with me, the people who are hungry, and not just like my son hungry, but the people who are really hungry focus on profit first. And we always knew we had to do that from day one. If you're not hungry, if you're too comfortable, then maybe you can just think about the passion and how good you feel about what you're doing. But we can't have impact without making profit. So profit has always been number 1.
So what is your deal with the business deal with the artists that you utilize for a lot of your designs?
We have it's a limited use agreement that we sign, the both of us sign. It is not a royalty structure. So we, depending on the product line and various other factors, it can be a year or up to 2 years limited use. We try to build in as much exclusivity as possible. The artwork that we get for the phone cases, t-shirts, and water bottles can come from various sources. Some of the original artwork is a painting. Sometimes it's a digital design. So there are different ways that we kind of have to deal with where that design might already be in the marketplace. So we do pay every artist. That's super important to us. None of the artwork is donated. It's a business arrangement to support working artists as well.
And what's kind of the set of brand principles on which you select the artists? I mean, is there any theme to it, or is it just local?
We definitely more than local. In fact, the phone case there that's being put into the purse is an artist from New York City named Yuko Shimusu, and she's a nationally known, actually internationally known magazine illustrator. You know, when we were doing that one release every week in our first year, we were going for a pretty wide variety. We wanted things that appealed to men. We wanted things that appealed to high school students. We wanted abstract designs, floral designs, dogs, flowers, what have you. So we were just going for a variety. We did start to pretty quickly, pretty early on in our existence, looked at artists that had a pretty sizable online presence, particularly with social media, because we exist as an online company, at least initially. And so all of our promotions were being done online. We wanted that artist, and it's actually built into the agreement we signed with them, that they will cross-promote on their channels just as we promote them on ours.
So it sounds like long-term you kind of think of this as a consumer goods business. I mean, have you ever thought about a licensing side of this? And I can't believe I'm going to say this name out loud, but you know, what Livestrong did do a good job of before the Lance Armstrong stuff was it was a really recognizable brand with a fantastic cause.
Right.
And it sounds like that's what you've got here. And so, you know, as somebody that sells consumer goods, you know, I'd love to have a line of sort of red dirt sporting Kansas City shirts that support your cause. I mean, is that a model that you've thought about at all?
I have a contract, right?
Yes, let me, your name again?
I'll sign it.
2 B's, right? ROBB. Yeah.
We've talked to a few companies about doing that, companies that wanted to do phone cases. Nothing ever really panned out. But you're exactly right. So you asked a question to the previous presenter, like, what's proprietary? What do we have that's proprietary? We have the same products that 100,000 other companies have. We have really cool T-shirts. We have interesting water bottles. We're doing things that are, even though ours is a Western appeal, not indigenous looking, we have products from artisans overseas. There's other companies that do that. So we are heavily focused on what our brand is. That's what we know we have to build. That's why we do a lot of marketing. We're really big in social because it's all going to be about building that culture with our consumers.
You know, as an aside, we've done a bunch of mosaics with Tina, Sporting Kansas City Crossing.
Oh,
so we'd love to
wonderful.
we'd love to do phone cases.
So you've been in the market for a year and a half. Sounds like you went kind of the artist first path. Can you talk about how people came to you, how often they came back, and how, you know, did they become kind of repeat customers, and kind of talk about some of that journey? And how is that going to be applicable to some of the artisan made, in your opinion?
Good questions. They came to us initially through, I think, I may back up. Kansas City is a great place to launch a business. I mean, there's a tremendous supportive community here. I mean, I'm preaching to the choir. You all are here because you're interested in startups in Kansas City. So we felt really fortunate. We got a lot of really wonderful media coverage early on, all editorial. We've done no paid traditional advertising like print or TV. We've had, you know, numerous articles in the Star, various magazine, other publications, some local news broadcast channels. So I think in those initial hits, those initial editorial coverages were really helpful to us. And we were just, we're pretty relentless on social media. You see all of our platforms there, and we're daily, multiple times a week, posting on each one of those. And so that has been really helpful. I think the artist involvement and promoting through their channels has been helpful. And then we would hear from people that liked a particular artist say, oh, I can't afford their original art, but I can get that phone case. I really want to have an original by Tina Blank or Lisa Lala or Scribe or whomever. So it's kind of several different channels, really locally focused. So now our efforts are going to be on national exposure. And the repeat customers.
Yeah, I'll add that. Don always talked about too, like, we don't care how you get to us. It could be because you like the artist. It could be because you like our cause. It could be just because you saw a t-shirt that you just liked and want to buy it. But then our job is then to make you have that connection to us. And, you know, basing it on studies, generations that are coming up now, including all of ours in this room, will not only choose a product that does good over one that doesn't, but they will even pay more for it. So we're tapping into that. We're tapping into that, again, emotional connection, and that is how we're getting the repeat customers. And it's fun, too, because people who started out with us just with phone cases, I mean, you can only buy so many phone cases, are now coming back to us for our new product line.
And I guess a follow-up to that is the nice thing about studies is they give you some guidance, but when you see that actually performing on your own property and understanding what that journey is, both why they came and how they keep coming back, you can actually make that applicable to your business. So I'm encouraging you to think about that a little bit. I guess the other thing is, how do people make the jump from purpose to product? Or is it from product to purpose? In your experience so far, do people come to you because of the phone case and then they see there's an impact, or they come to you because there is an impact to be made and then they find something to buy? And how's that gonna drive your brand forward?
I think people who are new to us come to us because they see a product they like, and then they learn about us. The good thing is that some foundational work has been done for us already. We're following in the footsteps of Tom Shoes. Warby Parker Eyewear, several other a little bit larger companies. So the groundwork's been laid. So when people see what our platform is, for the most part, they get it pretty instantly. Does that answer your question? Kind of. Okay.
Again, I mean, maybe just to repeat what she said and what, whether they come to us because they say, oh my gosh, Yuko Shimizu, oh my gosh, I love that artist, I've got to have what, I'll buy you anything you have that has her artwork on it, because I can't get it anywhere else. Great. Oh, support for water, that's cool. I mean, we'll take them either way. It'd be great if they kind of hit across all those channels, the art, the cause, the product itself. But if they come for just one reason, and then learn about the others along the way, that's great for us.
I guess as more of a comment, I would encourage you to really learn about that, because that's going to allow you to grow and scale more quickly with less resources as you understand that dynamic more.
We've got a question here to your left.
Two-part question here, but fairly easy, is you've got the store on the plaza. How long will it be open? And then have you considered also, similar to what you're doing on the plaza, where it's open just for a limited period of time, going to other areas? I'm thinking, for example, like Weston, where a lot of people go shop, kind of quirky sort of things, and that sort of place would be a good fit for your shop, for just spot openings.
Sure. Our store, our arrangement with the plaza right now is just for the holidays until January 15th. They've talked about extending that time for us. I don't think that we're really interested in that right now. Really is more of a money generating. Wholesale is going to be better for us. So we're really going to focus on wholesale markets next year, hitting some of the shows, traveling around the country and getting into stores, because it's just it's a more stable financial model for us at this age of our company. Retail shops might be down the line, but as small as we are right now with manpower, I mean, retail shops, as we've learned I keep saying lesson by 2 by 4, retail shops and employees, part-time employees and that kind of thing is, it's like having a newborn baby. So we're not going to focus on that too much right now, but maybe down the line.
Got a question here in the middle.
Great presentation.
Thank you.
You both seem you both are so eloquent, poised, and witty, and you also seem like savvy business owners. What are your what are your backgrounds?
Thanks, Mom.
Or you're great actresses, but what are your backgrounds?
We both have a background in nonprofit fundraising, so we're used to hearing no a lot, particularly when you ask for big gifts. Nonprofit is really just kind of what feels is the fit for me, and I think has been for Christina as well. But it really was, the kind of match that lit the flame was really our trips to Africa. There's a saying, once you go, you know. If you've ever been to a developing country, you immediately understand what's different. And I always say, and it's interesting because I'm taking my teenage daughter, my high school that's on her way to college, with me to Uganda. It'll be her second trip, and to see it through her eyes is also really powerful, and to see her write like her college application essays about it is really powerful. So, I think the excitement of starting something new that combines commerce and philanthropy came really kind of naturally to us. I'm not saying it was easy, and I'm not saying we didn't have a lot to learn, and we have just soaked up as much as we could through venues like this and articles and magazines and books to kind of get up to speed in the business world, since really our careers have been spent in nonprofit.
And I think Dawn and I get along because we're a little bit different. I always say she's like the kind kinder version of the two of us. She's got such a great background in the arts, and I call her the artist whisperer. I was formerly an Air Force officer, so I'm kind of like the mean one. So we get along really well.
Question in the center.
It seems like the name that carries the most weight in your language is Goods for Good. Is there a reason why you chose Red Dirt Shop over that?
You bet. Yeah, I'm sure the Panda Boxes gentleman could probably say the same thing. It's harder to name a business than a baby, because you have to make sure all the URLs are available and all of that. So we went through like 6 weeks in notebooks of renditions, but we really wanted to have something that was easy to remember, easy to spell, and that still represented the foundation of our experience. So it's really after the Red Dirt of Africa.
We've got a question here to the left.
Who actually keeps up with you guys' social media campaign?
Who actually executes all the posts and everything?
Yeah.
99.9% this one, and occasionally I'll tweet something. I don't like to tweet.
We've got another question to the left. Oh, they asked it. All right, question here still to the left.
As a social enterprise, I was curious if you set up as a hybrid entity or chose a regular traditional format, and also if you found good local resources to do your impact studies.
That's, yeah. We're an LLC. We've set up as an LLC. We're not at all, 501c3 at all. Yeah,
and impact studies, we actually had a really tremendous experience this past spring semester. A class at KU Journalism School, their senior capstone project, which is, I guess, something that's been around for decades as just kind of a legendary class that they offer. They chose us as their client for the semester, so it was all seniors. This was their final kind of project to graduate, and they took Red Dirt and they divided the class. There were 35 students, I think, and they divided into 7 different agencies who had their goal was to create a marketing plan for us. So we spent the whole semester with them. We went out to Lawrence several times. They ended up doing a lot of audience surveys, focus groups, a lot of different methods, and tested out different approaches, such as 5K runs, sponsored by Red Dirt. I mean, all these hypothetical things, but they ended up each producing like a 70-page booklet for us to, take back with us, ours to keep, and to check out some of their, theories, hypotheses, approaches, solutions, et cetera. So it was
free.
Free, yeah. That was gonna say, it was gold to us. I mean, it was all these things that, we know we needed, we just hadn't gotten to them yet, could not execute on our own, no way, would have had to hire a very expensive PR firm to do. So we're still kind of digesting some of that, and we've stayed in touch with that professor. We've talked to her class since her new class for the fall, although we're not a client anymore. And that was really tremendous. So that's kind of on our shelf right now.
Question here in the center.
Great.
Hi, you said you started April of last year, correct?
Correct.
And you started off by selling cases?
Correct.
What made you make the jump from phone cases to like fashion? Yeah. And how much profit, what do you believe made more profit, the cases or the fashion?
We had always, from when we started the company, we had made a 5-year plan, basically, and we always knew we wanted to expand our products, but we wanted to start slow and safe. And when we started, we were both working day jobs, so we had the luxury, I would say, of starting slowly and learning our lessons. But we always knew we wanted to grow and expand into these types of products. We always knew we wanted to employ artisans from overseas. As far as the profit margins are just kind of different on all products. Without getting into specifics, I mean, usually, if you have a much more expensive product, sometimes you need to take a little bit less of a profit margin on that to see where it fits within the high and the low end of your collection of products. It depends on where you're getting them manufactured. It depends on what kind of deal you have with them. Depends on shipping. Shipping from California for some of our products is much different than shipping from Nairobi. So there's a lot of different factors that go into that. That's a good question.
Awesome. Thank you both for coming out and sharing your story. We have one last question. That's the 1 million cups patented question. what can we as a community do for you?
Well, the holidays are coming, and we happen to have a handy store right down the street.
Open 10 a.m. We'll be open at 10. Open 7 days a week. I think it's, think about, without sounding preachy, I mean, the whole idea of a social impact business, whether it's us or Tom Shoes or Seiko or Warby Parker, is to make your purchase count. Your pocketbook, your wallet, your purse is super powerful. You can make some really great decisions based on your purchases. So, whether you're buying something for yourself that you need or buying something for yourself that's a treat or buying a gift, think about what might add a little more meaning to it. If it's something that supports something that's important to you, that reflects your values, choose that instead of something that's kind of just off the rack, off Amazon, whatever. Just as you're buying this holiday season, give some thought to what your purchases mean.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
All right, before we wrap it up today, we'd like to call somebody on stage. Would Melissa Roberts please come up here? So, you've probably seen Melissa standing up here on stage with us for the past year plus, even more, 2 years. Melissa has had an awesome opportunity with the ECJC to help them run and grow entrepreneurship here in Kansas City. So she's had to take a step back as an organizer, but you can see the passion she has. She's still here every week, and we really appreciate everything she's done. And we just wanted to publicly kind of say thank you and give her a round of applause. Yeah. Thank you, thank you. So, if you haven't had a chance to meet Melissa, I strongly suggest you do so today. She will connect you with anybody in town, and she'll inspire you, and just a great person to work along with. So thanks again. That wraps it up for this week. Same time next Wednesday. If you have a startup that you'd like to present, go to kansascity.1millioncups.com, hit the Apply Now button. We'd love to see you up here in the future. Thanks.